Okay, Christine, so first what we're going to do is we're going to add the tomatoes to the boiling water. I'm using 6 tomatoes just because, you know, we have a bigger family. You could use 4 if you want. And I'm also adding the jalapenos with the tomatoes. So I'm going to boil those without the onion and the garlic first. And I'll show you what it looks like when they're ready. The tomatoes are just going to start to peel and they'll be soft. And then I'll show you how to what to do next. Okay, so Christine, meanwhile the tomatoes and the jalapenos are boiling. I'm going to go ahead and put a couple pieces of onion right there. And also some garlic cloves that I'm grabbing now. I'm just gonna roast those a little bit just to cook them up a little bit. They don't really taste that good when you boil them, so they taste better when you roast them. So this is already coming to a boil, or it is actually boiling, and you could see the skin starting to fall off. Okay, so we're gonna roast these both sides just for a little while. Probably like 5 minutes or so. Totally. Okay, I'll get back to you in a minute. So I am roasting the onions. It's only 2 little half pieces. See, they're not like, it's not a bunch of onion. I just want to kind of roast them up and get them a little cooked. You can turn them around every now and then. I know you won't use your fingers. You can use a fork or spatula or whatever you want. The little garlics, just turn them around. See, as they start getting a little brown and beautiful. Now, another thing I wanted to tell you is, you see I have 3 jalapenos in there. That doesn't mean that I'm going to use them all. What I'm going to do is blend. When I do blend everything together, I'm going to test it with 1, because that 1 jalapeno could be crazy spicy. But it may be totally mild. So at least I'll have the 3 in case I need to add more to make it at the consistency that I and the kids like. But I know Chris likes it spicy, but he doesn't always get what he wants. So still browning these up a little bit here and there. See, I just want to have the salsa ready before I do the the chile rellenos, because it makes life easier. I'll have to deal with the salsa after that. So just a little more, not too much more than this. I don't want to burn them, that's for sure. You do not want to burn them because you don't want that burnt taste. Just trying to get them a little cooked, get them a little bit of that roasted flavor. Okay, hold on. Okay, so that is probably pretty good. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to add those to the blender and let them sit there until the tomatoes and the jalapenos are ready to go. So hold up. Now sometimes you kind of have to spin these little suckers around because they float up to the top, and then the top part doesn't get, you know, as cooked as it should. So now usually it takes the jalapenos a little bit longer to cook, but as you can see, like right here, let me see, I don't know if you can see it, but right here, see how the peel is like starting to come off? A lot of people take that part off. I don't really care. It blends, it gives a good flavor, has fiber, so I don't really care. I use it no matter what. I just want them to be soft, and they are pretty soft. There's probably 2 in there that aren't that soft. They're probably a little bit less ripe than the other ones. So I'm going to leave them in there for about another 3 minutes or so, and then we'll take them out and put them in the blender. So I have my ingredients in the processor, which is, you can use a blender, you can use a molcajete, you can use whatever the heck you want. I have it 2 other jalapenos that I also boiled, but I'm not going to use them yet. I'm going to, because I don't, just like I said, I don't know how spicy these are, and I already have my onions and my garlic in there as well. And excuse all my other mess because I'm making some chicken parm for the kids too, because you know how they all don't like the spiciness, so I have to be careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some kosher salt, my fave. Add a little bit. If you're Mexican, you kind of know the amount to add. If you're white like my daughter Christine, then probably add like, I don't know, maybe half a teaspoon to start with, and then, you know, try it. It may be fine. You know, it might be good. If anything, you could just always add some more. All right. So I'm gonna get to blending. I don't want you guys to hear the loud noise, so I'll be back. And away it goes. Okay, teeny weeny. That's the nickname for my daughter. Her name's Christine. I call her teeny weeny because she's my youngest. Okay, got our peppers here. Pasilla. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I used to, what the heck? Hold on. I used to make a big deal out of it with, then why isn't it turning on? What the heck? Hold on, give me a second now to readjust here. What? Why isn't that one working, babe? I used to roast them on the comal, which I call it's kind of like a flat, just tortilla warmer, whatever you want to call it. But I found, I don't know what is wrong with that one. That's so weird. That never happens. Well, we'll use the other ones. I found that, plus I live on propane, so that ruins my day as well. So what I do is just I put them right over the flame, as you can see. Okay, give me a second. Let me get them all in there, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is how I'm roasting them, straight up, like on top of the stove. And once I see that one side is like good and roasted, I'm gonna turn them, and then I'll show you what they look like once they're pretty roasted. But I try to get like, you know, I try to adjust them. You know, if one half isn't getting roasted, then I'll move it over where that half that's not getting roasted, I'll put that part on the flame. You know, just kind of move them around, do your thing. You know, just make sure you get them roasted, because you want to make sure that you're roasting them enough where the skin, the outer skin, is going to be able to peel off. That's the most important thing. You don't want that outer skin. It's waxy. It's not that good. But yeah, you don't want to get that off. So I'll be back with you guys in a minute. Okay, so while you're roasting the chiles, you can get a little head start on cutting the cheese. And I usually, you know, try to do like a little half inch. I only have one hand because my other hand I just had surgery on, so. And then maybe about that much. So, you know. That much. If you want a little bit more, add a little more. It's not gonna hurt. So I do that, and I try to make as many of those long square pieces, not square, but long, as like, you know, as many as I have of the chile. So I'll just show you. That's what I do in the meantime, because before that, I'm gonna have to clean the chiles. I'm gonna have to peel them and take the seeds out. But we're not ready for that yet, so I'll be back. Okay, so my chiles are looking pretty good. Still have to get a little more roastness on them. See these over here? They still need way more. And even this one, even though it's roasted good on one side, the other side still needs a little bit, no maintenance here and there. Like even this tip right here, I would want to roast it just a little bit more because it makes it so much easier to peel the skin off. See, even that one right there, I'm gonna for sure make sure I put that tip of the chile in the flame so it gets roasted. All right, I'll be back. All right, so this is pretty much what I want it to look like. Once you roast it, there'll be a little bit of parts where not totally charred, but you want to make sure and get the majority of it charred. Okay, so check that out, look at it closely. I'll be back. All right, after dealing with kids and all kinds of other crap, got them all roasted up. So I put them pretty much in the same bag that I bought them in from the grocery store to get them. It just makes it easier to peel off the chile. So I'm going to leave them in there for about 10-15 minutes or so. Just leave them in there and let them kind of steam or whatever you want to call it. And that'll help the peeling process of the skin much easier. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be back. Okay, so you pour, oh my god, why is that on that view? So I pour the egg on my hand and all the whites slip through, and then I'll just put the yolk in another container. I'm going to do the same. Hold on. Okay, so I have 3 egg yolks here and then 3 whites. I'm going to whip these till they can't be whipped anymore. And I have no help, so I'm pissed. So I'm going to put it on full speed and get this shit whipped. I'll let you know in a minute. Can you push the pause button? What? Can you push the pause button? What? Can you push the pause button? Okay, so while Christian is beating the white, I'm gonna add oil to this pan that we have here with canola oil, because that's my favorite. Start it up and make sure it starts getting heated up. Now the eggs are gonna be Christine, I basically I run it underwater and I kind of peel it with my other finger. I only have one hand, so I can't show you exactly, but I just kind of peel it, kind of rub on it, and it falls off. So I got all the chiles peeled, and I made like a little slit right here and rinsed the seeds out of them. There may be a few left, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. If you see any little extra little skin crust, you can just peel it off. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's fine. Okay, then now what I'm going to do is make sure they're nice and dry, because we're going to be frying them in oil. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start stuffing them with the the Monterey Jack that I cut up. I'm going to stuff each one of them. I'll be back. Okay, Christine, so now that they're stuffed, I'm lathering them with flour, and then I'm gonna put them in the egg mixture. You can see I want to have them like completely coated. I didn't do very well with this one because I had a lot of distractions, but my next batch will be much fluffier. So I'm going to put them in the hot oil. I'm just going to do 2 at a time because it's so much easier. Pour a little bit of that egg mixture on top so that way make sure it's completely coated. I like to do that just because I can. And plus, I was really disappointed with my eggs mixture because I only have one hand to deal with and no help at all. It's over here in this area. So I'm just going to coat these completely. Let them fry up. Rinse my hands. Okay. By the way, my kitchen is a big mess. But look, I have my chiles here, like stuffed with the Monterey Jack. I may discard of this and just start new. And then what I was telling you about, you know, trying to, I want to separate these, but it's kind of hard. But about getting some like oil from the side and just kind of drizzling it over because I want it to like cook. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not happy with the way these turned out because when I was separating the yolk from the whites, I accidentally got some yolk in it, so I'm not in the white, so I'm not happy with it. So it didn't fluff up. So these are probably going to be greasier than the normal. They should not look like this. Okay, this is a big mistake. Make sure you don't get any yolk in the egg whites, and I'm going to show you what I mean about that. They'll still be good, but they're not going to be good enough. I'm disappointed with that. But that's what happens when you have no help in the kitchen. You try to tell people to help you, but they don't because they're too busy playing their fucking games. Anyhow, enough of that. I'm not going to complain anymore. I'll be back. Okay, this is what it should look like. Watch. Super thick. Where I like tip it over and it barely starts falling off. Okay, once it looks like that, you're gonna add the egg yolks and just kind of mix them in really quick. Okay, so you're gonna basically, where is it? Jesus Christ. Okay, you're gonna dump them in and put on the lowest setting. Okay. Mix them in, turn it off. Okay. And then you're going to get your chile relleno here. Lather it completely with flour. Make sure I put like extra cheese in these because the chiles were kind of big, so don't be shy with that. So now I'm going to dip it in the batter, the egg batter. Mind you, these are carb free, okay? So now, look at this beauty. It's gonna go in the pot. Yeah, baby. Okay, so now I'm gonna rinse my hands again for the 1000th time because this is tricky job. I hope that my oil was shit because I had it on low. Okay, so you're gonna do this whole shalom thing. Okay, and then you're gonna dip it in the egg mixture. That's beautiful. Oh my god, it's so fluffy. It's gonna be so good. Okay. Okay. then I'm going to put it right in there. Any little excess that you have on your hand, just squeeze it on top, because the better you seal it, the better you have less oil inside the chile. It all just stays on the outside to fry it. And there you go. My phone's about to damn die, so I don't know if I can do any more than this. I may have to continue this conversation tomorrow. Okay, bye.